Broadcast live.
Yo, Prince. So, I mean, you literally like the plug, you're connecting the dots, you saw the vision.
Yeah.
I mean, you've worked with a lot of artists.
Yeah.
I've always wondered, what made you go, you gotta come closer to Keenan and take it to this? Because, you know, for everyone you work with, you bring in your resource, you bring in your time, you bring in your mind, and you go, this is how, but is this guy accountable enough for me to take him there? What made you kind of like bring Keenan close like that?
I think it's so funny because me and Keenan, every time we're at a show and after he performs, he always comes in and he's like had a couple of shots and he's like, you bet on the right horse, nah. You know, it's like
I told you.
I told you. He always
told you bet on
the right horse. Like he always done that to me because, you know, for the longest time, I come from a corporate environment, you know, and I'm passionate about. I love my music. I love our country. I love the music that's coming out. But I've always wanted to understand why there was such a distance from it, you know.
Yeah.
So when I got involved with Keenan, I was very impressed by the way Keenan was thinking. It was like a complete match. You know, he wasn't just about music for the rest of his life. He wanted to use his influence to the rest of the world. You know, he felt like he doesn't just have to do one thing, which is perform, and we must just enhance performing.
Yeah.
So we built Beam Group, and you know, it's been less than a year. We've done well. We've got an amazing team, stronghold. You know, Keenan's got a whole team behind him, which is great, right? Now he's enhanced his brand. He's taken his brand to the next level. We still work on that. But then he was always like, okay, now we've done this, Prince. We did it. Here it is. We've got our team. We've got our employees. We got our spot. We got our endorsements. We got this. What's the next thing? You know. So you know, obviously me as the guy who's overseeing everything and obviously taking a lot of instructions from him, being at the top, he was like, yo, you got to find the next thing. This can't be it, you know. I want to retire, you know. And I thought to myself, I looked at it and I said, there's kind of a ceiling in the music industry. You do performances, you get endorsements, you make music, you win awards, that's it. There's a ceiling. So how do we break that ceiling, you know? And the only way to break that ceiling is to partner with corporate. Because corporate, those massive buildings right there, they have to have something behind that brand. They have to have influencers like Keenan. How are they surviving like that? You know, what are they doing? You know, so going and finding out the main source to take things to the next level with Keenan, and as his business, his Beam Group, was this solution. You know, It was to get into a space where we feel like the whole industry, the whole world, even people like Cristiano Ronaldo, even Messi and them, even Beyonce, they can't move with those followers. They can't monetize that. You know, they're just very privileged because they've made so many millions. But even we, from all the way down here, are going to be able to wake that side of things, you know? To say, hey, look, we're the only company in the world that's doing it for celebrities, you know, for talent, you know? So what the journey was, you know? Keenan wanted the next big thing, and we got here to Beam Digital to form a company that looks out for everybody, not just Keenan, you know? Keenan will be the leader, and he's saying, guys, I've gotten to this level. I want all of us to get to a certain level. That's why you see him these days. Like, he's got no problems with anybody. His mind is free. He gets it. He understands it. He sees it because he's been exposed to what's happening in the back end. He understands now. Keenan's like, oh my God, you know, I'm sitting on 2 million followers. You know, Instagram, I can imagine how much they're making. I'm seeing these ads on my page. I can't control them. They're sending advertising space to my followers because I don't own them. You know, it's like he's tired of that. So he's like, there has to be a way I can control and I can make my own database and have it as some sort of a bank. You know, it becomes his gold. He's able to move around with it. You know, if Keenan is sitting on 2 million followers today, right now, you wouldn't be interviewing Keenan. He'd be buying a boat in Monaco. Right now, if he had 2 million followers that he could just have on a stick, that he controlled with the data analysis, he wouldn't be sitting here right now. Yeah. He'd be monetizing it through other corporates.
We'd be speaking on the satellite.
Everybody.
Yeah.
You know?
Or I'd be like Keenan Unchanged.
Yeah. You know?
What are the two?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
you know.
To see him in that, to open this company is to open something to the industry, to make them aware of what's happening. You know, those who want to be woke, this is the time. Like, this is the Beam Digital is to wake you up, and you've been awake. You understand it. You understood it a long time ago. It's just that now it needed someone with some form of power, a person like Keenan, who's been in the industry for so long, you know? It needed someone like him to say, you know what, let me go show these people that this is not it. Yeah. This is not as glamorous as we think it is. You know, we need more, you know?
So, has Twitter and Instagram lost the customer?
Yeah, I would definitely say so. I definitely say that, you know, even for the largest part of the year, you know, I don't really post as much as I used to. I'm not really as interested in it for many reasons. Number one, because when you have 2 million followers or whatever the case may be, in amongst those followers, the followers are just, they're not core, right? So if somebody's paying $250 per week, you best believe they core fans because they're paying their money. But Instagram and Twitter are not like that. You got people muddled up in there, people kind of just browsing through, people there to leave negative comments or whatever, people who want to be kind of just there for the ride and so forth, you know.
So it's
I think, yeah. So also for me, it also as my brand as AKA, just to kind of keep it cleaner, you know, just post my work, tweet my work. I don't really wanna interact too much on social media. I don't see the benefits of it.
So how does the releasing of projects works with this? How do you guys release now music? Is it still through labels? How's that gonna go?
No, nothing changes.
Nothing changes.
Yeah, nothing is changing.
Nothing
like
changes. That's the beauty of it.
That's Tiamo. When I speak to Tiamo and Tiamo does the music, oh, you know, Prince is doing that. I'm like, Tiamo, just make sure you don't lose a job out there. You know, get that guy in the studio.
No, you know what? It was, and that's.
I'm in the studio every day.
And that's the great
Every
thing
day.
about him. You know, when I told him that, listen, I'm gonna go start this company for us, I'll still overlook him. You know, Keenan is absolutely amazing and intelligent. He said, no, Prince, you know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna empower one of our own and make him a director. And that's why Tiamo was heading up more of the music, you know. And me and Keenan kind of oversee everything. And the business flows is still the same. It's just empowering him. How long has he been with Keenan for?
Yeah, it's loyalty.
He's a critical guy.
You can't buy that.
And you know, it's good for him to be in that seat and be able to drive.
And also
everybody.
make his own moves.
Yeah.
Make his own moves. You know, Keenan's all about like, all the guys that work with us, they can work with us, but they can also build themselves outside of being, you know.
Did you see our little billboard out there?
Yeah, man, I saw everything. I saw everything. I mean, listen, I was sleeping because I came with an Uber, but like, I was catching everything as I was walking in, and then that was the last thing I saw. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yo, guys, firstly, I'm very happy. Nivesh, I just want to give you a shout out just for acknowledging the culture. You know, I've got a saying, you know, the way I move, you know, in my business, I say, the culture needs to be formalized. And as long as when corporates who actually have the resources to organize our culture, also like shake our hands and look at us like we can actually, as potential of becoming, you're saying we're business people, but like we're making money most of the times. But like if they can see us as a potential of, there's actually global domination in this, there's global growth in this, there's potential. That's when you stop your normal operation, your normal business, and you look at something outside the box. So I gotta give you a big shout out for that, you know, for acknowledging that. That's what's gonna make us as a culture grow.
And in turn, and make actual moguls. My biggest problem, Slick, was that, you know, we embrace Jay-Z, we embrace Diddy so much. I mean, we can't even have a braai without talking about the guys. But we can't make our own, like Diddy, our own Jay-Z's. Like we need to acknowledge that Forbes is a hero, and he can be that mogul that he wants to be. You understand? He can have a data company, a telecoms company. Do you understand? And still have an entertainment company. He can be that guy. That's the aim, to make a proper African mogul. We don't have them. He's going to be the first of his kind. Do you understand? And this will empower all the other rappers, or everyone else who's making music, to invest in themselves, take their cheese and open businesses. You know, this guy's been very selfish with his money. This guy could have been up and down here in Lambos a long time ago, ages ago. But he understands investing in growing a business, you know. He's majority holder. This is his company. Do you understand?
Let me just double check that. So the equity is spread amongst everybody.
It's majority.
Digital.
Yeah.
Okay,
he's majority equity holder, and he's majority holder at all companies. So he's the chairman of Beam Digital. Yeah, and Yeah, and it's not people. I know a lot of people are like, hey, there must be someone funding. No, Keenan is funding. We're funding everything. He's
Yeah,
funding
I
himself
just want people to know that this business, a lot of this business, is funded by me on stage. It's funded by all the blood, sweat, and tears that we put in on the music, so that we can take that money from the music and put it here, and so that people like us can grow that money and double that money up instead of me just taking it and burning it.
Yo, I'm gonna wrap it up like this. We'll have an offline conversation. I mean, I know we talk about moguls, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying. There's a lot of stuff happening, you know, but I think the next power the next step of power for us is an argument I keep on having is collaboration. So, I mean, with what you guys are building, which is not in conflict with what I'm building also, which is very much, but
It's actually quite similar.
but it's not in conflict. You know what I mean? I've got a certain focus. You know, I got a certain focus. Also very data driven. Also, my thing is that I don't know anything else except music. Do you know what I mean? And with me not knowing anything else except music, literally, like, I go, how do I? It's understanding the data around that. It's who's making money off music in this country. You guys talked about mobile, digital. I'm like, who's making money in this country? So I'm talking solutions about the money making of the music, and then the experiences that come with the music, which is linked to a whole lot of things related to data. So I'm just saying that, like, when we come and sit together and we do what we do,
You know what?
it's going to be a power.
You know what we should
I mean,
actually do? You know what we should actually do?
Yeah.
We should actually invite you in Monday.
Yeah. And we'll explain
Monday,
to you.
and you know what?
Yeah.
We should actually get you onto the digital partnership, because he did mention you. When we started, he said, you know, this appeals to people like DJ Smooth, Slicker. He mentioned your name. He said, Prince, a guy
I
like
always got you
Slicker.
in my mind, bro.
You know, he said
Because
it's a guy
will
like,
get it. He gets it.
because he gets it. So you'll actually be shocked of the opportunities. That the things that you've always thought that you wanted to do, you're gonna find how easy they're gonna be with
Yeah,
the
but
kind
at
of
the
partners
same
we
time,
have.
you never know what we're gonna learn from him.
Exactly.
He's also got a couple things to teach us.
To teach us, you
So
understand?
Monday morning,
And I got my meeting with my partners on Monday, so we'll schedule another time.
I think there's,
but like
I think there's plenty of space for many digital superpowers.
yeah, look, and that's what it is. You know, I mean, I'm just saying, at the end of the day, it's collaboration. And you know that's why I'm thanking you. What resonates for me is that, yes, we want to make a living, but most importantly, we know what ends up with our people in our culture.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we want to create solutions that actually, like, go, you never made money, it's your fault. You never made. So someone want to have to sit down and think about, they just have to plug into your system,
Right.
and they can make a living
Yeah.
forever.
Exactly.
You know, I'm creating something like that also on my side, where, like, you know, you just have to plug a system, you know, and you live forever. So I think there's a lot of opportunity with us collaborating.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna set up some time for Prince, and
Please
let's
do,
make
man.
it happen.
That'll be
you know?
dope. It's crazy that this idea would come to us in an interview. Is this even still an interview?
Yo, it
cameras
is what
are
it
off.
is, you know. No, but yo, I like, genuinely, you know, from day one.
Thank you,
From
brother.
day one, you know, I worry about you sometimes, but you know, I'm happy. I'm happy. Prince.
Don't worry about
you know,
me.
You know, it's general concern. You know what I mean?
It's a love thing.
It's a love thing. You know what I mean? You know, Prince. Yo, thanks for stepping in, doing what you're doing. Nivez, thanks for seeing behind the everyday business schedule that you have and going, this is not in my realm, but it looks like it could be something.
Yeah.
That's a big, people take that for granted. You know, I mean, South Africa's changed by business people like you who step back and go, we've always been making money like this, but there's something happening in this space of the young people. Those are the people that are going to create jobs. Those are the people that are going to create opportunities, because the kids, to be quite honest with you, and I say this with all due respect, just your company on your own, there's a kid that doesn't see themselves working in your company, doing digital stuff. They don't. but they probably see doing it in Beam Group. They probably see doing it on Slick on Life. And that's how we're going to get these kids to become accountants, to become lawyers, to become developers. It's through them walking in through the culture, not through things that have been created by a Western world, like the corporate companies from the Western world, because they built it out of their culture. That's why there's so much unemployment, because like a lot of kids who come from previously disadvantaged areas, they feel there's no fit for them in the corporate world, but they feel there's a fit for them in what we do. So if we can teach these kids that, like,
then they can be here too.
Yeah, you can come here, but you know what? Do you want to learn to be a developer? You know, and we'll also go do the show, because you know right now the nerds can go to the parties.
Yeah.
The nerds can actually like have fun like the superstars.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to actually start breeding.
And that's why you see, if you notice, that's why if you get a chance to go ever do an interview at Beam Group, you'll see when you get to Beam Group, it's like you're at Google.
Yeah.
You know, Blacksmith, Don, niggas are dressed in Reeboks, brothers are dressed in do-rags. You know, you come up here wearing suits, you know, but still, it's what you're saying.
Collaboration.
It's through talent, people like Keenan, you know, and Beam Group is a corporate company, but when you walk in there and you look at everyone around the whole building is in suits and ties. You walk into Beam, the guys are comfortable, they're in their own space. And talking about culture, that's our culture, you know. And you know, when I came in, I didn't want that, but he was like, no, man, this is how we do things, you know. Keenan was like, no, this is how we live. This is how the guys live. Don't change them. Don't make them wear suits and ties. Leave them like this. And that's it. You know?
I'm a boss in my company, even though I don't like being like a boss. But you know, we out here. These are I mean, you go to my office, we like got a team of like 15 kids where I go. The designers, animators, etc. Where I go, these guys were never going to fit in a corporate world. Some of them come from a corporate world, but like this, the environment that they're in is that we love the music and we're working in a space we love. Even though I stress them out and I shout at them and it gets real sometimes.
Me and Forbes
but
every
the
day.
point is that like what we are doing beyond music, we're taking the South African kids and we're saying that like you don't have to work in a westernized company that doesn't actually consider you and doesn't know where you come from. And if you feel like you don't fit, it's okay, because it wasn't built for you. It was built for a Western world, and they bought it here and they imported it. We are creating, and we can not only create music, we create jobs, we create opportunity. And when I go through, I meet some of the biggest, but this morning I met like one of the biggest bosses like in the networks. You know, this is how I go. Do you know what I mean?
Me too. They know me.
And
I come in here in shorts, glasses. You know me.
Yeah, but you know why though? It's because we not saying we want to say those kids that dress like this are not stupid. You know, I'm not trying to. I respect Nivej in the tie. That's what he does. But we saying that like, yo, there's so much potential in what's hidden here. Hence, I say I never dressed like a rapper before. And I ain't about to dress like a businessman. But you know, when I put in my output though, if you ain't listening, you're going to miss it. But if you're listening, you're going to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yo, shout out to Beam Digital, out here doing the damn thing, breaking barriers. This is the culture. Yo, it's 2017. The world is changing. There are going to be new bosses of who runs this country. That's all I'm saying.
That way.
Boom.
It's another episode on my... Broadcast live